What's good, everybody? I'm the Shadow Sage, and this is part 8 of the long-awaited What If Naruto Went Rogue. And if you do enjoy the video, remember to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for 15k. I remember back when I was at like 10 subscribers, so thank you so much, everybody. It means a lot. And also remember to join the Discord server. Links in the description down below. We have a phenomenal time there, so just join it. And now, without any further ado, let's get into the video.
Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
So in the previous part, Naruto attempted to kill Iruka during the Konoha Crush, but Kakashi saved him and defeated Naruto. And after Naruto's taken down, Kakashi takes him to a jail where he's kept in custody. And while Naruto's in jail, Jiraiya tries to talk no jutsu him, but it's pretty futile. And after that, Jiraiya has to go on the Tsunade retrieval mission, so he stops visiting Naruto. And so that means that Jiraiya's making the Naruto stop, and since Naruto is in prison, he can have a lot of free time. And during his free time, he's going to be doing mostly these 3 things. And they are hella physical and mental training, like Rock Lee levels of training, but even higher, even though he was already doing that in the past, but he's just going to do even more because he's in prison, has more free time. And second of all, he's going to be plotting his escape. And lastly, he's just going to be like contemplating like about everything. He's been back in the league for the first time in many years, so he's just thinking about like his new experiences and like what he's going to do with them. And that's where we left off in the previous part, so now let's get into this one. Alright, so basically where we're starting off this part is that Naruto just broke out of prison. And Naruto can escape the prison and get out of the village very easily, actually, because the village is in disarray. At the very least, it was stated that the village was very weak due to the Konoha Crush, and this is even more like recently to the Konoha Crush, so basically he can just get out pretty easily due to the like chaos in the village. And while on his journey, he's doing all the same thing that he did in prison, training, contemplating, but this time he's not plotting to escape because he's already obviously out of prison, so he doesn't have to escape, you know, the wilderness. That's pretty dumb. But back to Naruto recreating his Nindo, it's basically completely different now. He used to think that everybody in the Leaf Village was bad. He was blind to other people's pain. He only believed that he was the only person who had pain in this world. He has now met people like Sasuke, Neji, or Kakashi, and he's learned about their pain, and it's opened up his eyes. That's basically what he said to Kakashi. There are people in this world who like are ostracized and stuff, while other people live the good life, but now he realizes that not everybody is living the good life, only certain people. And we've talked enough about Naruto, let's set our eyes on what's going on in Konoha right now. So when Jiraiya travels to meet Tsunade and get her to return to become Hokage, he can't, for the same reason I said in my Mount Miyaboku what if. Without Naruto reminding her of Dan and Naoki, she just won't return, and she ends up getting taken by Orochimaru when she attacks him, and she is forced to heal Kimimaro, but she can't heal Orochimaru's arms and gets killed by Orochimaru, and Orochimaru takes Kimimaru's body. And also, since Tsunade isn't back in the village, Jiraiya has to become Hokage, and also Sakura won't be training under Tsunade because she's obviously not in the village, and she's not training under Jiraiya for obvious reasons, and I'm quite sure I don't need to point them out. And also on the Sasuke retrieval mission, Sai and Shikamaru are both Chunin, but I would say Sai is the mission leader because he's obviously more capable than Shikamaru in my opinion, at least. And I think that on this mission, Sai would be a lot more conservative per se than Shikamaru was, and a lot less determined because he was never friends with Sasuke. Shikamaru, as you know, was very determined to get Sasuke back, but Sai would be like, whatever, he's gone. Oh well, I'm not sacrificing my team the way Shikamaru was willing to, because if we know that Sai's first introduction, his mission was actually to kill Sasuke, not rescue him, so I just feel like as a person, as a team leader, Sai would not be willing to like actually put his life on the line to get Sasuke back. So basically this means that Neji and Choji and people, they'll still be injured, but they won't be injured to the same extent that their injuries are life-threatening. And also the Sand Trio won't show up because this time Gaara is still insane because he wasn't talking to Jutsu by Naruto, and Sasuke makes it back to Orochimaru, but this time he has a much easier time. And now back to Sakura. Since Sakura trained with Kakashi, she's gonna get much more combat training, and she's gonna become a Genjutsu specialist, just how Kakashi like pointed out in the bell test. She's like, oh yeah, she's a Genjutsu specialist, she has lots of potential, so this time she'll actually take that potential. And also Kakashi's gonna see her potential of medical ninjutsu, so Kakashi's gonna arrange her a teacher, you know, some medical jonin, not like Tsunade no Sanin. So she's gonna learn the basics, just like, oh, you know, and Hinata no, you know, she can revive a fish. Oh, you fell, scraped your knee, I got that. Yeah, she can do the basics. Yeah, but I'm kind of downplaying her, to be honest. She's gonna become pretty good at medical and ninjutsu, but just not like become the master that she is in canon. But other than that, her ninjutsu base and her like taijutsu base is gonna go way up compared to her canon self. She can do more than just punch hard. She's actually good at taijutsu now, as well as ninjutsu. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm very sad to say that Sakura is not useless in this timeline. I know, very sad. We can't make fun of her anymore. But now let's get back to our main protagonist, or antagonist, whatever you want to call him. Naruto is back on his own in the world. He has no clue what to do. It's not like he was loyal to the cloud and he just stayed there because it was in his best interest to destroy the leaf. But now he no longer wants to destroy the leaf, so he doesn't really need to go back to the cloud. And Naruto eventually decides to become an official Ronin, or a missing nin. And although he was already a rogue ninja, he had an affiliation, but now he's just wandering out on his own, so that makes him an official Ronin. And while on his own, he will continue his vigorous training and keep reflecting on the state of the world. And now Naruto's gonna start doing contract jobs. He's gonna be like a for-hire ninja, the way Zabuza was. Zabuza was hired by Gato and carried out jobs for him, so Naruto's gonna start doing similar things like that. And while he's doing his contract jobs, he's gonna be traveling the world, learning about new people and visiting different places, like how Sasuke did after the Ninja War. And so basically Naruto doesn't only grow in strength and body, but also in his mind as well. And it's actually at this point where he drops his goal to destroy Konoha. Don't get me wrong, he still hates his childhood home, but he acknowledges his goal as childish and useless. And also, as he meets many people, like I said, he will observe them, and Naruto used to be antisocial and didn't bother to learn about others, but Naruto comes to the conclusion that the world is full of opposites: kind and selfless people, or selfish people; ignorantly bliss people without a problem to worry about, or those who struggle and are oppressed like how he was. And as I said earlier, he thought he was alone, but now due to his new experiences in the Chunin exams and now in his travels, he knows that he's not alone. And after this, he comes to the conclusion that those who do not understand each other end up fighting and creating winners and losers, causing the inequality that he has seen and personally experienced. The winner forces inequality on the loser, and it creates a cycle where the strong feed on the weak and the weak hates the winner, causing pain and stuff like that. And this is all from what Naruto has like learned and is experienced personally. And so what Naruto decides to do is that he wants to get rid of his old purpose, and that was destroying the leaf. Now he wants to open up his closed heart, but keep in mind he doesn't want to keep it hardened. He's not going all soft on you guys. And he wants to work to get rid of the opposites. And he decides that he just can't create a revolution by himself, and he needs to build a team of outcasts and rejects, people like himself. And for his first recruit, he sets his eyes on the Sand Village. And Naruto, while traveling, walks past an older man with a red beard, and they both make eye contact, and they can tell that they have some kind of connection, like a sixth sense. And they both continue walking, but both of them are thinking, what the heck? But then suddenly the old man senses a shuriken flying at him, and he dodges it quite easily. Who are you? Naruto asks the man, and the bearded man responds by saying, my name is Roshi of the Four Tails. Then Naruto drops his weapon and smiles. You're like me, huh? He says. And the moment Naruto says that, Roshi's suspicions are confirmed, and he knows that Naruto's a Jinchuriki as well. So he asks, which one do you have? And Naruto replies, Nine Tails. And then Naruto tries to tell Roshi his plan, and then asks him to join his team like a used car salesman. And Roshi is definitely going to turn down Naruto's ideology, and based on the very little that we know about Roshi, he was someone that truly believed in the canon Naruto and his personality. And Roshi is just going to walk away from Naruto and say this piece is a false piece. And he won't try to stop Naruto for two reasons. First, he doesn't think that some random kid can uproot the entire ninja world, and secondly, he doesn't blame Naruto. He understands Naruto's pain and where he's coming from and his good intentions at heart. So in the end, they end up agreeing to disagree, and they part their separate ways. And after that, Naruto then goes on to eventually reach the Sand Village and infiltrates it. And Naruto goes in posing as a merchant or a trader who just needs to like have business in the village. And now that he's in there, he needs to find where Gaara is. And now remember, our Walmart Uzumaki is still a psychopath in this timeline, and therefore it's not the Kazekage because he was never taught no jutsu by Naruto, but rather defeated by Asuma in the Konoha Crush arc. And I think that Temari would be the Kazekage because she's oldest, and come on, I don't even explain why Kankuro wouldn't be a damn Kage. He's just not fit to be Kage. And Temari's stronger anyways, so that doesn't even matter. And Naruto decides that finding Kankuro and interrogating him would be a lot easier than finding Gaara, so he eventually tracks him down by buying some information from some random ass person or ninja in the Sand Village. And after Naruto captures Kankuro, he decides to let out his inner Yamari on Kankuro, and that's the guy from Tokyo Ghoul who tortured Kaneki, if you don't remember. And in the end, Naruto doesn't have much fun because Kankuro squeals pretty quick, and then Naruto leaves him behind, and Kankuro is left yelling because Naruto just left him there and didn't untie him. And then Naruto travels to where Gaara is, and that's in a secluded room that he's locked in. And Gaara senses human flesh, and that excites him, and he lets out a crazy laugh. Finally, mother, finally, he screams. and as Sand rushes at Naruto at high speeds, Naruto then disappears and then reappears behind Gaara, and before Sand can react, he feels Naruto's foot on his back and is then knocked over onto the ground. And as Gaara's body crashes onto the splintered wood floor, Naruto asks, "Why, Gaara? Why are you like this?" And then Gaara slowly gets up and explains his entire backstory about how he is the demon who only loves himself and how killing is the only thing that makes him know that he truly exists. And then Gaara also says that his strength comes from killing others and being alone and having no friends. And this response doesn't really surprise Naruto, because he knows that he was halfway on his path to becoming another Gaara if it wasn't for him meeting all the people in the Leaf Village. And then Gaara rushes at Naruto again with a hunger look in his eyes, and he says, "It's been so long since I've known that I was alive." And before Gaara can even see Naruto's fist, he feels it uppercutting him, and Gaara flies into a wall, and his sand shell pours down from his chin. And as Naruto stands over Gaara's body, he says, "Gaara, I can tell that you kill for another reason, why you need to validate your own existence. It's to heal the hole inside your heart." And upon hearing those words, Gaara freezes because he's reminded of his uncle Yashimaru. And then Naruto continues and says that killing, that revenge doesn't make you feel any better. When I heard that the third Hokage had been killed, I thought I would have been overjoyed, but the pain remained unfettered. And also, your strength doesn't lie in your loneliness. That was the same thing that I honestly thought for many, many years. The medicine for the wound in your heart and true strength has the same answer. Love from someone who understands your pain. Join me, Gaara. And Gaara, who was lying on the ground, picks himself up, and as he does, he knows that he doesn't feel the urge to kill him anymore, but a foreign warmth in his heart. And he sees his uncle inside Naruto and is talked no jutsu'd by him. And this time it's a bit late, but hey, better late than never. They then escape from the village and venture out to find more people to join their cause. And they recruit another rogue Jinchuriki, Utakata of the Six Tails. And he's one of those side Jinchuriki that we know more about compared to the rest, because there was a whole filler arc where he was a main character. And Utakata was the only other rogue Jinchuriki. The rest of them served the village, but we do know for a fact that all of them were treated the exact same way, like how Naruto was. So I'm sure that they would all be sympathetic to Naruto's cause, but as they were loyal to their villages, not a lot of them would go, but I am thinking that one of them would at least go. And now the question falls on which one would actually join them. And I don't think that the Two Tails and the Eight Tails would join them because they were very, very loyal to the Cloud Village. The Three Tails Yagura would definitely not join them because he's the Mizukage, and he's being controlled by Obito either way, so he won't join them. And then the Four Tails Roshi already declined, and that leaves the Seven Tails and the Five Tails. And we barely know anything about these two Jinchuriki whatsoever, but based on the very little that we know, Fu just strikes me as a person who wouldn't join this cause. And that means that I'm giving them Han the Five Tails. And now that he's kind of important to this story, let's go over what we know about him. And the first thing that we know is that he was an incredible shinobi who was instrumental for the stone in the Third Shinobi World War, showing how he is a very capable ninja. And what we know about his personality is that he was very calm, logical, and reserved. And we know quite a bit about his fighting style. He was a taijutsu specialist who was very big and buff. He stood at 7'6". He really chose the wrong career. He was a whole ninja Yao Ming. But back to his taijutsu, he was physically massive, and he utilized his Biju Kekkei Genkai and his armor to build up steam, and then release it with lots of pressure, propelling his fist forward and his body to punch super hard. And basically, in lamest terms, his Kekkei Genkai is boil release, so he makes a lot of steam, and then it builds up in his armor because his armor is specialized to hold that steam, because it's basically a huge pressure cooker. And so when the pressure builds up, he releases it, punches super hard, because force equals mass times acceleration. That's me trying to be kind of smart, but I guess that didn't really work out. That's where I'm going to wrap up this video, and if you got this far, you might as well drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and check out the other videos on this channel. And once again, join the Discord server, links in the description down below. And like always, remember to stay safe and have a great day. I'm the Shadow Sage, signing off.